Shepherd Hill. Welcome to our first edition of RamTv for the 2019-2020 school year. Things you should expect this year is that not only do we have a fully staffed, locked and loaded newspaper ready to take on anything that comes our way, but we also have students who are passionate, credible, well-documented, and seeking to give you news on a myriad of different topics. Additionally, we're bringing back the TV show. As you see here, we will be covering the weekly news, and we're going to now introduce it as RamTv, this new, updated, driven version of what we truly think a news segment should be. So be sure to check us out. Be sure to keep up to date with everything we're going through, and I hope you enjoy it.
Chaplain always say, live with pride and unity. Fourth floor pool, no AC, lunch, ladies, cookies. SAT coming up, guidance needs it ASAP. Class election, spirit week, soccer cleats, they always reek. Soccer tray, no way, better leave the cafe. Freshman backpack in the way, detention on a Tuesday. Now inside 704 to school because of snow. Senior Priz, 100 spot, passing, that's quite a lot. Shepherd Hill Regional High School, we're committed to excellence with pride and unity. Shepherd Hill Regional High School, we started learning, now our brains are burning. Show choir, marching band, cheerleader, handstand, hillcraft, marathon, book club is always on. NHS, Molly Wen, cheerleader, Spider-Man, track team always win. Heck yeah, let's celebrate. Team, everybody on their screens. Football games, Mrs. D, bio wisdom is key. Anya in the library, Anya in chemistry. Time most likes rock and roll, seniors gotta get this going. Shepherd Hill Regional High School, we're committed to excellence and pride and unity. Shepherd Hill Regional High School, we started learning, now our brains are burning. Play spreads when we sneeze, Shepherd Hill dust on our knees. Run the track, coming last, we are Shepherd Hill fast. Mr. Foley sweater games, our delays are pretty late. Traffic in the AM, one driveway don't make sense. Us chappy tweets all day, gotta do an essay. Boys tennis, basketball, want to end up on the wall. EEE makes these ills stay in Shepherd Hill. Shepherd Hill Regional High School, we're committed to excellence and pride and unity. Shepherd Hill Regional High School, we started learning, now our brains are burning.
Triple E, more like Triple Eek by Libateric. Many towns and cities in Massachusetts are at risk of Triple E after 400 mosquitoes were discovered carrying the disease. This is the first Triple E outbreaks in Massachusetts since 2010.
Triple E is a virus contracted by mosquitoes that have been infected by birds. The virus causes brain infections which can be fatal or leave victims with serious, lasting neurological effects.
As of September 7th, 7 people have been reported being infected by Triple E. The brain-infesting virus is rare and highly dangerous, about 30% chance of death.
As of September 10th, Charlton and Dudley are at a moderate risk for carrying mosquitoes that possess Triple E. According to MassGov, only partial areas of both towns have undergone preventative systems.
Clothing and pants will cover up exposed skin and help avoid being bitten.
Mosquito repellent is also highly recommended and should be applied continuously on both adults and children. It is recommended not to go outside past 6 p.m.
Starting last Friday, October 4th, Dudley Middle School came up with a new way to lift their student spirits after a long, hard week of work. High Five Fridays, where student athletes from Shepherd Hill go down to the middle school on Friday morning to encourage the students to keep up with their schoolwork on one of the most distracting days of the week. This idea was able to come to life with the help of Miss Eagleton, Miss Du Bois, Miss Bateman, and Miss Packard. The teachers suggested that the Shepherd Hill athletes cheer on the middle schoolers as they walk into school on Friday mornings. The sports teams high-fived the kids to help them get a happy and positive start to the long day of work ahead.
Drafted 14th overall by the Atlanta Falcons. During his time at the Hill, he won many awards including TNG Super Team, two-time ESPN Boston All-State Team, and ESPN Boston Lineman of the Year in 2014. At Boston College, he was named to the ACC first team after a successful junior and senior year. He also was named to the New England Sports Writers All-New England team and the Athlon Sports preseason team. In his first regular season game, Lindstrom broke a small bone in his foot and is expected to be out for at least 8 weeks.
We wish our hometown NFL star a speedy recovery.
California governor signs bill for college athletes to get paid. September 30th, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill that will help college athletes make money off their name and likeness. For years, college athletes have been in a legal pursuit to get paid for playing, and the NCAA has been in a constant battle against it. Newsom's bill will come into play in 2023, and it will impact recruiting as well. High school athletes will be looking into more schools in California, since they can make money there. This is a serious problem. If only one state is paying players, then everyone will want to go to a school in that state. To combat this possible problem, the NCAA has a way to level the playing field. They plan to not allow schools that have this law from playing in national championships. Though there will be a few outliers that go and play for money, most will want to play for a championship. Many hope this doesn't change too much as far as the recruiting process. It will be exciting to see what collegiate sports will be like in the upcoming years.
Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, has temporarily stepped down as a conservator to her personal assets. The reason is that he had argued with and hit Spears' 13-year-old son. The police report filed by Kevin Federline, the father of Britney Spears' child, on August 24th of this year reported that he had allegedly broke down a door and had abused his grandson. An agreement has been made in relation to custody which was at first 50-50 between Spears and Kevin, but has since gone down to 70-30 in 2018, and now Federline has 90% custody over the children, while Spears only has 10% as of this week. In Killing Joke, Joker says, "If I had an origin story, I prefer it to be multiple choice." And I'm so pleased that the film kind of stays with that. You have questions for how this character came to be. Sure, it answers them, but it replaces them with better questions. And since this film did so well already, I feel like we should have a little aggressive expansion and having more films directed towards DC villains like Scarecrow, Bane, or even Mad Hatter. And honestly, if you don't go see this film, I'm gonna complain. Starting tonight, I'm a man of my word.
By talking to anonymous sources at Shepherd Hill about their experiences vaping marijuana, I learned some concerning things. One anonymous source told me about an accidental overdose on what they thought was THC oil. I felt like I was watching a movie and I wasn't myself. Every breath I took started a new hallucination. I saw such awful things and woke up in the hospital, and they told me I'd been laced by the people I trusted. This is not the only concerning story I heard about vaping. Multiple other students reported chest pain and occasional vomiting when using a vape. According to Fidder Zarkin, a reporter for Oregon Live, a North Carolina hospital reported that 5 people had massive inflammation of the lungs after vaping THC oil they got from an unreliable source. The CT scans of the vapor's lungs showed material deep in the lungs that blocked oxygen from entering the bloodstream. The diagnosis was exogenous liquid pneumonia, otherwise known as ELP. Deaths linked to vaping have caused the Trump administration to pose new laws that ban flavoring in vapes. Could this be the link between ELP and vaping? Until more studies are done, we will not know. However, it is important that safety is our main priority.
Recently, I sat down with Mr. Foley to discuss my most recent article, The Real Killer, Black Market Vaping, and this was his response.
the position that I'm in, I can see why it's a problem, like why vaping is an issue and why, like, and how dangerous it is and how pervasive it is and how, like, it's taken hold of this school, and anybody who's tried to use the bathroom at a certain time of the day will tell you why. I don't know that a statewide ban is a proper way to address it, because I don't know if it quite gets to the heart of it. I would have to wait and see what the results of it are, because I would have to assume that there are at least some people who do use vaping devices for purposes that are not just, you know, for purposes that are beyond what we see here. I know a few people who use e-cigarettes to quit smoking. I've always thought that that's who the products should be geared toward, because the idea is not that they're safe.
And with the bans now, those people can't get it because of the young generation using their advantage, like, you know, to receive these things.
It could be, yeah. Is, like, I don't know, it's, I would have to look specifically, is it like it's all vaping devices that have been made, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would think that would have a negative effect in that regard. Is there some benefit to taking a few months to study it? I would say I would probably, yeah. I don't know, like a blanket ban, I'm not so sure about. Like,
My next question is, you kind of already answered it a little bit, but do you believe that these bans will bring upon positive change or negative change? Or both?
Probably a mix of both. I would think it may give us some. It may give, if the intention, as Governor Baker says, is to study what happens, is to study them, like what could be done about them. That could bring some positive changes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't speak with authority on the issue, because it's really just supposing that I don't know if depending on what other substances are easier to get because there's no access to e-cigarettes. I don't know if that could have. I don't know if it would bring about. The worry is that it would bring about a return to cigarette smoking. I can't say for sure whether that will happen.
And like what I talked about in my article, the black market is definitely going to benefit from these new bans, because now people have to go, if they need these products, like if they absolutely need them, they will go to the black market to get them now.
Which is kind of a microcosm of what happened with the opioid crisis as well.
Yes.
Like that when there's no more access, like when they can't get access to, so they can't have access to prescription meds, some will turn to the black market, and that ends up being more dangerous.
So
there is
with marijuana when it wasn't legalized.
Synthetic marijuana you're talking about? Yeah.
Yes. So that's what my take on it kind of was, but I know like some people don't see it like that.
I mean, it's hard to know for sure. Like it's hard. I think it is kind of like just my opinion, just what I think. I think it is kind of a knee-jerk thing to do. I'm generally not in favor of decisions like that, but it could end up doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not entirely,
Yeah. So that's Mr. Foley's take on the vaping issue. What's yours?